Hello, back to the lap quilt. I just wanted to let you know that I used all of the bright blue of the fat quarter, and I didn't use hardly any of the music note or this fat quarter. It's fine, I'll put it back in my stash, and I think I only used 1 or 2 strips of this fat quarter. So I used all of the blue. And of the 2 reds, I just have 2 left of those fat quarters. And the rest came from my stash of what was left over from that group, that family of the music. And I used, I think, 2 strips of the yellow and probably 3 or 4 from the orange with the metallic in it. And that's pretty much it. So you could use stuff from your stash, or you can get maybe four or so fat quarters. Depends on how much variety you want in that. And I decided I'm not going to put sashing in it. It's already kind of busy, and I don't want it to take away too much. I'm looking at it right now. I don't want to take too much away from the guitars already. I think the white and yellow is kind of taking away from the nice blues, orange, and reds that complement the guitar fabric. So that's where I am right now. So it's time to sew together. Now, if you've already gotten this far, you need to decide, do I want to make a sew row by row, column by column? You can do 2 at a time, or you can sew it in 4 packs and then of course have 1 extra. I think I'm going to do a column because I've got another row at the bottom that's not on my design wall, which is just, flannel attached to my cabinet. So I'm going to start doing that. So stick around. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, I did the first 2 columns and they are webbed together. The string's still attached. You can leave them that way if it's easier for you to keep track, and put them back on the design wall like this, and you can either start adding the next column or do the next 2 columns, whatever you prefer. Whatever's easiest for you, whatever works for your brain. I'm going to stick this back on there and do the next 2 rows. It works for me. Well, I'll just do the next 1 row and attach it to this. How's that? Hold on. So I know I have a piece 1 here, so I know I need a solid piece here. My guitars in this case will go on this one. Have a solid 1 piece here, so I need a pieced one here, so it will go here, and I'll sew these without breaking the thread. If it's easier for you, break the thread. It's just called webbing. It helps keep it together so you don't lose your place. So now I'm going to sew these 2, then I'll go back and get a couple more. It just, because I don't have a lot of room here, I just do a couple at a time. Okay, I have the 3rd column on. See, they're still attached to each other. And I was able to keep them in order. Now I still have 2 more columns to go. I could just sew them together and then attach them to this, since this is getting a little floppy. And that would work. Or I could just keep sewing as I am, And the nice thing about this is it does keep them in order. The awkward thing is it is awkward. So you're just going to have to work with it and decide what you like to do better. Whether you just want to do them individually or try this webbing technique. Okay. Last one, last block in the last column. That is it. To me, that was the hardest part. Now, all our blocks are attached. And caught on the sewing machine. See? Let's hang it up in the wall and make sure I didn't get anything out of sorts. The top and second row together. And I have this orange seam going this way and the black seam going that way. Well, I guess it's red on that side. I'm going to stick a pin right in that seam line, and I'm going to match it up. It's hard to do it at this angle. I'm going to match it up with the seam on this side. It's hard to do it up in the air. And then I'm going to pin it. So when I sew this, my seams will match up. Don't worry about perfection right now, but if you want to try to get your seams to match up. And there's already that little thread there to help guide you, you know, where to go. So just put one seam one way, one seam the other way. Nest those little seams together. Stick a pin about 3 stitches down. See if they come out. Well, if you put your pin through straight, it helps. Pin it. That's all the pinning I'm doing. I might pin the last block to make sure I don't get all crazy at the end. But no, that's all the pinning I'm going to do. All right. First 2 rows are done. See? Okay, let's keep going.